Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about the transit of Neptune because it is about to go back into Aquarius. And every time a planet transits back into a sign that it was previously, it means it has some unfinished business. So we're going to talk about what this planet is about to bring to us and what exactly Neptune is all about and what it could possibly mean for all of us. So before I get into the Neptune transit, I want to remind everyone to go to my website and sign up for my free newsletter where you can get all of my predictions delivered to your email address every week. So go to galacticcenter.org. And additionally, while you are there, don't forget to look at the subscription to my brand new magazine. This magazine is amazing. It is called Joni Patry's Astrology Insights. Check it out. It's only $9.99 a month. You will be so glad you did. All of that is on my galacticcenter.org website. So continuing on with the transit of Neptune and what this means, I want to also remind everyone that I'm doing the sidereal Vedic calculations because many people say, hey, I thought Neptune was in this sign or that sign. Well, maybe you're thinking about Western tropical astrology. I do the Vedic sidereal astrology. Why? Because it's the true placements as astronomically by astronomy where they really are. So this is truly important. Yes, so Neptune is about to transit back into the sign of Aquarius, where it has been transiting in the sign of Pisces since last April. Now it's gone up into Pisces and now it's going to transit backwards. Well, it's been transiting backwards, but it's going to go backwards into the sign Aquarius. And I want to show everyone that I have written 3 books on the outer planets, and this is the one on Neptune. Neptune, Secrets, Illusions, and Scandals. I think that's very important because as Neptune goes back into Aquarius, guess what it's going to bring up? Well, we're not foreigners to scandals, are we, in this world? So many scandals have come up and incredible theories that, just really are out of this world. But some of them aren't. They may be called conspiracy theories. Some are absolutely conspiracy theories, but some are not. So I believe that all the things while Neptune was transiting in the sign of Aquarius are due to come back for us to take a clear look at. And of course, what Neptune does bring out is the truth. It exposes everything. It's like I say, it's a spell that has been lifted where all of a sudden all the things we couldn't see before become clear. Neptune actually rules fog. It's illusions, deceptions. It's even viruses. Did you know Neptune is in viruses? It rules viruses. Now, Neptune stays in a sign for about 12 years. So it really does imprint certain generations of people. All of us, according to our generation, have Neptune in a particular sign, and it makes us the way we are and how we relate to people in our generation. The music, the likes, the trends, the styles, everything is really depicted by these 3 outer planets that actually rule our generational people and eras, who we are, because they're not so much personal. They're more transpersonal. They deal with the collective unconscious, all of us together, put together, what we're feeling as a collective. That's very much based on the signs and the aspects of the outer planets. Yes, and one thing I want you to know, I want you to know I am going to have a class on the outer planets because they are so incredibly different and amazing how they really do dictate the styles, the trends, the generations, our mass consciousness, what we are able to conceive and perceive. They're amazing. By the way, let me just remind you, my class on the outer planets is September 10th and 11th. Block that weekend if you want to have your mind blown, because this is the first time I'm presenting all of this information on these three trendsetters. You know, back in the 1960s, we had the two outer planets, Uranus and Pluto, together the entire 60s. And that's what caused all the revolutions and changes that we know about that really created where we are today. All of this matters. So let's get back to what this Neptune is trying to tell us right now. So it is going to transit back into the sign Aquarius September 11th. September 11th. Hey, there's a reason why I have that class on that weekend. But September 11th, Neptune will enter back into Aquarius, and it will stay there till February 18th. So it's there for quite a while. So around 6 months, it's back there. So let's see, September, October, November, December, January, February, it's 6 months that it is going to be back. So those 6 months are going to be huge in revealing things that came up that have not been settled. One of the things I think that is going to come back that we're going to have to see some clarity on is Jeffrey Epstein. You know, looking at his chart, he had Neptune all over his planets. I believe his Venus and Mercury in the 12th house of secrets and prisons. Guess what? Neptune was there on those planets. And guess what Neptune's all about? Deception, deceit, denial, illusion. Do you really think he killed himself with all the dirt he had on other people? No. I think that is something that needs to come out. But then again, the people who killed him are so powerful. How are we ever going to get it out of them? Yes, it'll be a miracle, but this issue is going to arise again. Wait and see. And all of our political people around the world, anything that they've been hiding will be exposed during this Neptune transit back into the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius has a lot to do with communications and information around the world. So you're going to see that the internet, news channels, all this thing, they're going to be exposed for all of the lies and deceits they put out. And as I said, Neptune rules disease. During the time that Neptune was in Aquarius, it's when the coronavirus hit the world. Yes, and where did that come from? What's that all equate to? What is that all about? Yes, this Neptune going back into Aquarius is going to expose a lot of things. You know, Dr. Fauci, maybe some of his indiscretions, or maybe just, you know, most of us just didn't know what the virus was all about. Why can't people just say we didn't know? You know, but the truth is going to come out. That's what's so incredible about Neptune, because it's going to go back and finish up its old business that it started and didn't complete while it went out into Pisces. Now it's got to come back and backtrack through all of these scandals. Now, many other scandals had to do with the Clintons, Trump, Biden, all the things. Don't think because your political take on things or who you seem to be more affiliated with, don't think that they don't have some indiscretions behind them. Yes, it's like, let me put it this way. who's got more than the other. That's probably what we need to be basing it on, not who is telling the truth and who is not. No, who has more scandalous things in their closet than the other? Well, we're going to find out all of this. It's going to be very, very interesting. So watch during the time of September 11th through February 18th how Neptune surfaces what we couldn't see before as it transits backwards. Now, Neptune is retrograde right now. That's because it's going back into the sign, but it will actually turn direct on December 3rd. So as it's going retrograde, this is where the digging up, going backwards, uncovering things. Remember, when a planet is retrograde, it's time for review, reanalysis, reflect. All of the RE words that come into our mind is usually what a retrograde planet does. This doesn't only apply to Mercury retrograde. It applies to any planet that's retrograde. But when the planet turns direct, there will be forward motion on what the uncovering is all about. So I'd say from September 11th through December 3rd, this is where all this stuff's going to be exposed. And what we're going to do about it and what we're going to uncover and deal with will be from that point on, probably between December 3rd and February 18th. So there's another day that I think is interesting where there can be some pretty interesting, scandalous information come out. And that could be around September 16th. Remember, these dates are sometimes just around those time periods. So around September 16th, Neptune will be opposed the Sun. And as I always tell everyone, the Sun does deal totally with world leaders. So something will come about. Something that we didn't know about will surface and be exposed. And a lot of this information changes the way we feel about things. Now, here is one thing I think is still relevant that has not been talked about by me for a while, but I think now is the time it's coming out, and it is about aliens. Yes, I think this Neptune is going to reveal possibly some of the help that aliens have been doing on our planet to help save us from destroying ourselves. Some of this will come out too. All the cover-ups about the aliens. It's coming out. It's going to be surfaced, and I wouldn't even be surprised if it doesn't have something to do with one of the world leaders, their information, or past leaders, what they're going to bring out. So watch for this. This is a huge uncovering that's about to take place on planet Earth with Neptune going back. Now, remember, it doesn't matter if you're doing Western or Vedic astrology in the essence that planets are retrograde. When they're retrograde, doesn't matter if you're doing tropical or sidereal. So just the fact that Neptune has been retrograde for quite a while, since the summer, since the midsummer, this is going to be much that has got to come out. Generally, the 3 outer planets stay retrograde for approximately around 5 months. So you're going to find that during this 5-month period, lots is going to be uncovered. And also, there is so much about to transpire, particularly with the eclipse and the Mars retrograde coming in October. Get ready for the big transformation that's about to take place. It's intense. It's powerful. The world is changing. And remember, the outer planets have everything to do with the awakening of consciousness as a collective whole. Our society, our world, our mass consciousness is going through an upheaval and a transformational change. We will now be able to operate at a higher frequency with the placement of these outer planets. And if you want to learn more about some of my discoveries that first time I'm going to reveal to the public is going to be in my 3 outer planet talk, which will be September 10th and the 11th. Check it out on my website, galacticcenter.org, and you can be part of this groundbreaking workshop I'm giving, which, by the way, I have over 250 slides to share with you that weekend. You will see the world from a different lens when I'm finished with you. But aside from that, Neptune is so vitally important in terms of what? Our spirituality. And that's why we're here. And Neptune, as it goes back, we're going to take a clearer and better look, like through the microscope, of what's been happening to our world and society while it's in Aquarius, which is the sign of humanity. But then once Neptune goes back into Pisces, there will definitely be a healing. And of course, that is after February 18th. And with that, you're going to see more compassion, more healing, because we are going to need it after all the breakdown. But it is what we need to cleanse and purify and then to heal. We're headed towards the big purging and healing that this planet Earth needs. And hopefully, all of this will bring us once again back together instead of being so polarized and separated by all this craziness in the mass media. Get ready to open your heart and come together, because once Neptune starts its transit in Pisces, there will be a beautiful and wonderful healing. And one last thing, when Neptune does transit into the sign of Aquarius on that day of September 11th, earlier in that day, Neptune and the moon are going to cross, and there will be a deep healing and emotion and spirituality that you're going to get a sense of. And this will be, promised, transformational for all of us. So with that, I'd like to close. If you would like more information on me, sign up for that Outer Planet Workshop, which is September 10th and 11th. Go to my website, galacticcenter.org. Don't forget to sign up for my free newsletter and check out my magazine. Thank you.